Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera and lens repair. And this time it's a real update from 2013 where I made a video, a way too fast video about how to cleaning the sensor in the Canon G9. And I think, well, it was not a very good video. Well, it was it was way too fast because of the equipment I had back then. It was not so good. But now it's an HD camera, and I mean my camera is an HD camera that filming this. So I think, well, it's good time to make an update for this camera, the Canon G9. So let's jump into it, and just a few tools. It will not be very hard to do. Just a tweezer, dentist tool, and a JIS screwdriver, because this is a Japanese designed camera and it's actually made in Japan, not like many other cameras made in somewhere else. And we need some cleaning solution, I mean fluid, and I also use a pad for the sensor, and this is, I use the Eclipse optical cleaning fluid, which I think is really good. And there are too many. You can clean many sensors in only one bottle. No, I am not sponsored by any company. Everything I do on my channel is on my own. That's it. Now, let's jump into it. Like the other video about the loose screws in here, I will actually go in the same way, almost, except for I do not need to take the front off, the top off. It's only need to take the back cover here, the display, the buttons in here, and then I can jump into the sensor. So, and we will just take it apart. It isn't that hard. So, and this one here, I arrange the screws so I can have the same kind of I mean, it covers the same area where the camera, the screw sits, so it just makes much more sense to me. Some people, they use a little barrel or so they can put it in, and yeah, we all have our different way of doing it. So, and off with that. So the back here is actually to take off. We just need to take out the battery, and since the cameras are actually working really good, so be careful taking off this side. I mean, this side is not a problem, but the other side you have to be a little careful when you take it off. Just wiggle a little so it's free. Now next is the you see, I've actually, to make it much more easier for you to see which screws has to be taken off, so I actually paint them with a marker, permanent marker, red, and all the screws here which need to be taken out. There's also something on here and down on here. So I think it would be easier for you to see, okay, what's going on here. By the way, when you put this part, the diopter adjustment plastic thingy, it's a little tricky, I found out, but we'll see. It's not that hard. I will show you. So, tiny screws, So there, and this one comes out here. So there, and also the button screw here, which is related to the plastic two buttons here. Now be careful with the flex cables, because this flex cable here is only goes to the top cover with all those buttons and and wheels you can turn on. So have a little tool with round corners, just like a dentist tool, and then you just very carefully dig under it here and lift up the plastic bar. You can see here the gray one. Lift it up, and so that's it. And then you can use a you can use a tweezer, pointy tweezer, which goes into the hole here, and simply push out the little flex cable. But be careful, because underneath here there are tiny, very fragile copper wires on the circuit board. Now that's it. That was a easy part. Then you can lift out the flex cable here, so it's free, and then lift out the if it's possible here, just need another tweezer, so you can lift it out in that way. I mean, normally I wouldn't do that, I will just use my hands, but it will be easier for you to see what's actually going on. Now there is another connector down here which you can see, and at the same time you really have to be very careful lifting up the gray plastic bar. It's really not that thick, so it will be easy to break, but with a plastic tool or whatever, a prier maybe, to pry it off, you can lift it up gently, and so it's free. Now push it out in a gentle way. You have to wiggle a little with the cable, or you can use a little hole, or you can use the little hole here, and with a pointy tweezer or so, maybe a dentist tool, simply press it out. They are fragile, just to keep that in mind. Now next thing is the display, which sits with one screw here on the bottom. And that's it. Put it somewhere you can find it. I just arranged my screws so it will be easy. And there is another one here. So you see, it's actually quite easy when painting the screws in a color, so it will be easy for you to see. That's my intention. Now the next thing is you actually lift off the whole plate here, which comes with the display, and that's it, and you just lift it gently up. Remember, those flex cable over here, see those two connectors, I really don't need to take them off, but I mean, because I can actually park the display and the plate up here somewhere without destroying anything. So I'll do that. So this stick out metal, I can simply lift it up and park it somewhere. So you can see it's quite easy to have that. So it's simply park here, and then you do not at all move the camera way too hard. Just let it be as steady on the desk. So now I can the thin cover here, plastic thingy, which is it sticks to the connector here. So gently you can actually use a tool to free the adhesive double adhesive tape here, and at the same time press down on this connector. So, and now we are looking into the actual sensor, the main board here, and the only thing I need to do is to lift up this connector here and unscrew those 3 red screws. I made them red because it's easier for you to see what's going on. So we can actually just lift this up, and it should not be that hard. You can go from one side to the other, and then it should be easy to free. Maybe it would be easier to just let it sit and then unscrew the 3 screws and flip it over, but the flex cable here is quite thick, so I wouldn't think so. It's just easier to take it out. The screws are locked in place by some I don't know what it is, glue or so they use on the factories, but then should be able to unscrew it. So and the sensor can only be placed in one place because there are 2, there's 2 guide pins here, there and there. So there is it can only sit in that place, and since the glue dried up, it will sit in that old glue, so it wouldn't be necessary to actually do any adjustment for that. So now I would be able, I should be able to lift it out in a way. Hopefully. See. Wow, this really stick to. Okay. Well, it was harder than I expected to be. Maybe if I use a little screwdriver here. Yeah, you can see the glue is really hard, so and yeah, there we go. Okay, there is a kind of a spring underneath that. Okay. I didn't expect that back then. I mean, it was not in the old, in my old G9. So let's see. Okay, there is actually 3 springs. Interesting. And just need to put this tiny little spring in again. So it will sit there. Now let's see to the sensor. Yeah, there is some kind of something on the sensor here. Yeah. Okay. And there is nothing on the actual low pass filter. So I think it will be fine, but interesting. Now I can just clean the sensor and put it back in again. So maybe there is, I mean, the spring has to be adjusted in a way, but yeah. So it is just a tiny drop, and then you simply wipe off the sensor. Yeah, it's gone. There was a kind of a thing on. So let's see, put it on again, press it down, so it is. And now one screw. It looks like the screws was screwed all the way in. So yeah, I think it will be fine for now. And then I can just press the connector here on the circuit board, and then go all the way back to what it was. Haha, yeah, we need the cover, of course, with the adhesive side towards the circuit board. So there, and then gently put on the display. It can only sit in one position, and we can take the screw here and put this in here. Now the more tricky part here is this plastic. You see the notch here? This kind of cut out here is what goes onto the, it's connected to this little tiny plastic pin here. You can hopefully you can see. So yeah, you can see it here, it sticks out, and it has to go into this notch here. So when putting this pin, I mean this part in, we really have to, I mean, it's that what I found out, it was actually put this screw in and then let it be a little loose. Let's see if we can make it. So it's kind of like this, has to go down. And sometimes you can be lucky to catch it, put it in, and hold the finger on it. Let's screw it in, not too much yet. So we can actually lift it, so by moving so. But if not, we can just take that, because sometimes there is a problem there. So if I just put it in, yeah, that's fine, and simply screw it in. And then I can turn the wheel here. Yeah, of course. Now it works. So one will show it. If this is, yeah, now we can do it. Just put it in, and it's not fully aligned to the pin here. So you just do that. Because sometimes it can be a little annoying. So then we put it in, and you can turn the wheel here, the adjustment wheel for the diopter, but the lens does not follow. That's why it is so important to have it. Just take it out again. So this one have to be as let's see if I can show it. Has to be all the way down to here, and then the pin here also have to be as long over to that side. See, it can go a little. So when putting this on here, you have to have a little out of alignment to catch the little pin down there, like that. Put it in, and hopefully it will stay there. And now works. So that's all fine. So you can just tighten the screws, not too much. I'll tell you that's all fine. This one was not. So, and then I can put in this board here, and again it's it can be a little tricky to put in this, but pressing it down a little with a dentist tool, we can, and it should go all the way in. If it just stick out a little, there is not the connection that should be. I found out that because the camera didn't work when I turned it on first. So you see, it should go all the way in to the connector, just to be sure it's correct. So now it's fine, and press the bar down and everything should be fine. Yeah. Now then the other flex cable up here. Be aware of that. Press it out a little. Put the plate here on and let it sit there for now. Then I will put in one screw and then put in the flex cable. So, and you have to be a little careful here because of the wires underneath here. So use the hole here and press down at the same time at the flex cable, so it's aligned into the connector. So we can press it in and be very gently. So it's there. Press the flex cable in and you should be able to press down the plastic bar. So, and that's it. Now we can put the rest of the screws in. Let's say that's all fine. So there. That's all. Just you do a simple check to see if it's actually working. Oh, fine. And then assemble the rest of the camera. This one here, you have to lift it up a little, so it's over that. Then the bottom screw. The screw beside the viewfinder. And the one on the left side, seeing from the back. Don't fully screw it in yet, because I found out that this was a little tricky to put in, at least with the one screw. So I will just let it, it works much better. Then I can screw this in, and the last one comes in with a strap. So, wow, here we are back again, and yeah, what to say? Well, it's maybe very too close to the subject, but it looks like it's actually fine. Hold on. Well, I just did a test picture just to see if everything is, and I think it looks better, just to be sure about that. And yeah, hold on a second. Well, I just did a focus check on to see if it's fine on the corners and so, and I think it looks actually very, very good. So yeah, now this camera is actually working very good again. without any loose screws and a clean sensor. So that's all fine. Wow. Since 2013 and now in 2023, 10 years after. Well, yeah, maybe a bit late, but I hope you can use the info in this video. So see you soon. Bye bye.